Hi guys, Ronaldo here from Latin Super Trade Education. Today I'm going to talk about breakouts, the advantages and disadvantages, and what to look out for. Alright, so let's go through here. Look at the Euro Swiss based on the daily chart. And as you can notice right here, that there's a beautiful breakout from a doji, meaning it's a part of the uncertainty. So pretty much in the past few business days within the Euro Swiss, there are a lot of uncertainty within the euro. And what do you mean by this? If we can go through and have a look at see, there's some certain levels of supply right here and levels of demand around this point. And there's an area between supply and demand that has a trading range between 23.11 and 23.25. So just hovering around between these levels and this midpoint, the equilibrium area, which is also the high of the doji. So the doji part of that is the uncertainty where buyers and sellers are fighting. They don't know where to go, whether to go up or to go down. But because of the momentum that buyers are taking control to the upside, the odds and probability to continue, hence is just a stabilization phase that you want to correct itself to continue to the upside, is more than likely the high probability. Right, on the other hand, at one point in time, euro went to as high as 124.72. 124.72, close at 24.19. So that's almost like a 50 pip difference, 50 odd something pips, and it opened at 24.19. So that's the close, opened at 23.55. So 23.55 to 24.72, that's more than 120 pips, close to 120 pips in movement within one day. At one point, buyers drove the price all the way up here, and who took control in the end? Sellers. So what does it mean within this candle? It means that it stayed inside the supply. Sellers pushed the price all the way back down, and sellers were saying, you're not going further up, and buyers are not willing to buy it. To buy more in actual because they find it that it's just way too expensive, and sellers took the advantage, taking profits, and pushed the price back all the way down, and hence that you can see 24.25, 24.33 is a good supply level. So it's still within that range, and here's that breakout, and this is going to be saying that is a false breakout to the upside. We're also going to put, since it created a new high in the previous highs, and we're going to find some evidence in the past whether 124.72 is a really good supply level. Alright, and also let's have a look on the next one and see what the end result is going to be. Okay, if I now go through and skip through this, so 24.72 since pretty much December of 2010. Notice that there are demand levels around this point, hence a supply level on that point. You can see through here too on the low of that, and also the high of that. So there is some real good evidence that it basically reached a supply level much stronger than this supply right here. In actual fact, it's also a really good supply level, but it did break out on that supply, and here is the major good level supply. If I will put a rectangular shape there, change the background, put red for now on that area. So within this cluster is really good strong supply even around this point. That support base within that area. It's also good supply level. So hence, when it reached a really good level of supply, sellers resisted, buyers weren't willing to buy anymore, and pushed the price back down to this major good supply zone. Hence it also created a peak. Alright, let's go through. We're going to wait and see what the end result is going to be. So now we can see through here, after that, reaching that supply, created now a lower low, lower high. So even the high of this one tried to go through, but sellers just pushed the price back down and push it all the way back to the downside. Alright, people ask me, but how do you know? That's easy. We're going to go through a different time frame based on multiple time frame analysis, and we do teach this in our classes, and I believe one of the most important aspects of technical analysis, MTFA, multiple time frame analysis, and you will see enough evidence. No, this is where we are at. This is where within that momentum, you see that breakout right here. Nice big push to the upside. And showed here a doji, created higher high, higher low, and an uncertainty, lower low, lower highs. And notice around this point, an institution, big person right there, resisted the price and sold and pushed the price back all the way down, but buyers came back up to form an uncertainty. And if I'm going to minimize this now, see within this cluster around this point, sellers I'm saying part of that is a consolidation, meaning that sellers and buyers were thinking, didn't know what to do. But if we notice in terms of the highs were decreasing, that means also in time or in price that buyers weren't willing to purchase it anymore, and there's some sign of weakness at the odds and probability since in the level of supply. So basic economics, that if there is, or if there are more sellers than buyers, then the price will drop. And if within the level of supply, pretty much you need to sell, the risk is very little. And hence, after that bearish engulfing, here's pretty much a proper confirmation that sellers are just way too strong. They didn't want to go beyond those prices, above those prices, took over, and hence the drop. Alright, so this is basically the trading tip for the day about breakouts and false breakouts, and why you need to be aware, especially when it's in level of supply. False breakouts or breakouts can sometimes be false, and they can also appear in demand levels, and you also need to be aware of that. Alrighty guys, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email us at contact@esteTrading.com. That's contact us at esttrader.com. Alright guys, have a great one and see you till next time. Happy trading.